The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Karl Anthony Towns, dominant. His best game of the young season, 33 points, 13 rebounds. And the Knicks now 4-0 on their home court and 2-0 on this 7-game homestand as they blow out the Wizards tonight, 119-102. Great to have you with us. Bill Pidto here along with Wally Szczerbiak. So we've talked about this as a key stretch of the early season. You got 7 straight at home. So far, so good. Beat Chicago last night.
Yep.
Beat Washington tonight. Minnesota's next. They come into town on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to what Mike Brown said in his post-game press conference after the Chicago loss. They had lost 3 in a row. They had hit some adversity. He was excited to see how this veteran team was going to react. I'd say they've reacted pretty well in the 2 games since. Here, dominating wins at home, returning the favor against Chicago. And then tonight against the Wizard team that showed a lot of fight. This is a young team that plays hard. Knicks came out and showed what they're capable of. They're starting to find their stride, especially at the Garden.
It was the Knicks tie that was the key. Right?
Guarantees the win. Always guarantees the win.
The Knicks were only up 3 at the half, but Wally, the third quarter, they blew it wide open, outscoring the Wizards by 17 points. Tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Knicks outscored the Wizards in that third quarter, 41-24.
I remember all the great players, great teams I played on. They always used to say third quarters where we send the message, make adjustments at halftime, and blow teams out of the water. And when you're a good team and a championship contender like the Knicks, that's when you send the message to other teams that they are not going to be able to play on your floor. It was an outstanding performance by them in the third, getting stops. The defense again was really good, holding this Wizards team to 102. And how about Josh Hart? 12 points, 10 boards, finding his role off the bench. Jordan Clarkson also lit it up again from outside, was really good coming off the bench. We're seeing what this team is capable of, not just the starting 5. The Knicks are getting production up and down their roster. Whoever plays is playing well.
You see the numbers. Note the three-point shooting for the Knicks, pretty solid again at 15 for 41. And the rebounding total, always obviously important to outboard the opposition. And for the second straight game, Wally, the Knicks with at least 30 assists, 32 assists tonight to go to the 119 points.
That's the Mike Brown offense. He wants everyone to be touching the ball. He wants the ball to be moving and to be shared. And he wants everyone to be threats, to be facilitators, not just the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands the whole entire game. Jalen Brunson is very welcoming of that. He's still getting his shots, getting his points. And other guys can get more involved in the offense, and that's why you're seeing high assist numbers.
Towns starting to roll.
Yeah.
Third straight game in which he scored 20 points and grabbed double-digit rebounds. And in this one, he went for 33 points and had 13 rebounds. He seemed more aggressive, especially early. Jalen Brunson a little bit off tonight, only scored 16 points. What do you think about Cat's approach tonight?
Sometimes veterans, it takes a couple games to kind of just find your rhythm and remind people how good you are and that you're an all-NBA player and a multiple all-star every single year pretty much during your career, former #1 pick. I think he had a little bit of extra. Watch your head, Alex Sarr. Watch your head. Going up against a young, up-and-coming big man in Alex Sarr, who was the #2 pick in the draft last year. He was playing good basketball. It looks like Towns, to end the second quarter, that 4-point play was nice. He was my flamethrower to watch.
Rub it in, Wally.
Coming into the game, I thought he was going to look to be aggressive and shoot those threes.
Why do you think tonight? Why do you think tonight?
I just saw last game just him starting to turn the corner as far as reminding people how great he is. He knocked down a couple threes. He was 2 for 2. Came out, hit the first 3 of the game. He had 2 threes in the first half. He kind of was struggling a little bit with his shot. He's an elite 3-point shooter. I think the best 3-point shooter as far as a big man in the league. Career 40%. And that 3 started to fall. So when that falls, then you got to guard him out there, and then he's going to start dunking on people down low because you got to guard him, and he's going to get his driving lanes.
And let us not underestimate the importance of the contribution of Jordan Clarkson for the second straight game. While off the bench goes for 15 points, very efficient, 5 of 8 shooting.
Yeah, just comes into the game ready to go. That's what he's done his whole entire career. And I like the way Mike Brown has kind of orchestrated the playing time and the minutes. He's making everyone earn your minutes. When you're out there on the floor, produce for me. And that's exactly what Jordan Clarkson did again tonight. He was outstanding. He's ready to shoot. You leave him open, just like he's been his whole career. He is money in the bank. He is a walking bucket. You know, points per minute, this is what this guy has done his whole entire career. I think defensively is something that Mike Brown wants to establish with Clarkson and everyone on the roster, that you're gonna stay on the floor with your defense. That has to be our backbone. Everything else will come. The offense will come. And Jordan Clarkson obviously is finding a rhythm offensively too.
Now, whether it's his performance getting him more minutes or vice versa, more minutes leading to better performance, the last couple of games he's played a lot more. He went over 21 minutes tonight. Last night played about 18 minutes, and prior to that he was only getting about a quarter, 12 minutes per game. So he's getting more playing time, and he's taking advantage of the extra minutes, really helping the Knicks bench. You mentioned that we had another double-digit night from Josh Hart. He had 12.
Yep.
Landry Shamet started, had another good game. Mitchell Robinson not playing, but the bench was crucial with Clarkson getting more playing time.
Yeah, Mike has done a good job of kind of just trimming the rotation a little bit. So when you go into the game, the scouting report, you're kind of figuring out as a bench producer, okay, I'm probably going to get about 20 minutes. And I know if I play well, I'll get up to 26 like Josh Hart got. And that's kind of how you operate. And I think Mike Brown has done a good job of being clear with the guys that in order to get production out of you, I need to trust that if I give you minutes, you're going to produce. And both ways, it's going very well right now.
All righty, let us now say hello to Monica McNutt. As always, helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, what did you think about tonight's performance?
I thought this was a great pair of games, and so much of this stretch for me is about how well will this team settle in its new foundation. And I know you keep hearing me say this, Pidto. I'm watching the offense to see different options and next level of reads. I would be pretty confident in saying this team is moving into sort of the tier 2 of understanding this offense. I saw a couple of different half-court sets tonight that I had not seen yet, and I saw some really great reads out of it, so I'm excited about the continued development of the offense.
Yeah, you can tell a guy, Monica, like Karl Anthony Towns, who coming into the season, he was trying to figure out where he fit in this offense and how to, understand what the reads were. It looked like tonight he just said, I'm starting to get this, and I'm going at Alex Sarr, and he was aggressive from the jump and aggressive from the tip, and he played some of his best basketball.
Couldn't agree more, Wally. I thought that first half play where he just channeled his inner Patrick Ewing, if you will, and just dunked right at the rim after backing down Sarr certainly embodies that. And then I think some of the activity off ball, some of the different reads as well, all the guys. Landry Shamet was our post-game interview on the radio, and he talked about this stretch run of home games being the opportunity to really get consistent and more comfortable in what they're doing on both sides of the ball, really.
Monica, on offense, the Knicks had 6 players again, like last night, in double figures. Each starter was in double figures tonight, including OG Anunoby. 16 points, but also note he had 5 steals.
Yeah.
He was all over on defense tonight.
Yeah. And look, someone might critique, okay, it's the Wizards, they'd only won 1 game, but it doesn't matter. You got to take advantage of the opponent that's in front of you. And I thought the Knicks did a good job of getting into passing lanes, playing with their physicality. In fact, that's a detail that Shamet shared with us that he was most proud of tonight, that this team got back to its identity, not shying away from physicality, showing that game plan discipline that we heard was a buzzword over the weekend. And OG Anunoby did just that. And what I like from OG too, Pidto, is that he's not forcing his offense, right? He has some high-energy moments defensively, some great rebounds, some good passes. When he's hitting shots, they're coming within the flow, and they are shots that are true to his skill set.
Yeah, I love that point, Monica, because you have a Wizards team that only has 1 win, but Mike Brown is trying to build consistency. And in order to build consistency, you can't take any nights off. If you're a player, if you're a team, if you're a coach, in order to be a great team, you have to play all 82 at a high level. And I agree. I think the Knicks did a really good job of making sure that they all came in with their lunch pail and their hard hat, and they went to work and got a really good win that they earned here at home.
Next up on this homestand, Monica, Minnesota in town. I asked Cat after the game, any emotions with Minnesota coming into town, and he quickly answered, I'm a Knick.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are professionals. And listen, I'm not saying that his time in Minnesota was or wasn't anything. In fact, he had a beautiful tribute when we were back there last year. But we all know what the expectation and the goal is this season. And so he is clearly fully locked in on just that, and I'm sure his teammates will have his back.
Yeah, that's, and the Timberwolves are going to be around, too, as far as competing for a championship. Those are 2 franchises that are on the up and up. Karl Anthony Towns has found a home. He's playing some of his best basketball here in New York. Cornerstone of this franchise and a big part of something special that can happen here in New York if they can win a championship.
Cat Rowland, again, his best game of the year, 33 points and 13 rebounds. Welcome back, everyone. Knicks now 4-0 at home this year, 4-3 on the season as they beat the Wizards tonight by 17. Back now from the corner three, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Let us now listen into the post-game comments from Knicks coach Mike Brown, as always, presented by Chase.
I thought the ball game changed in the second half because defensively we became the more physical team. Not only that, our weak side was aware at an extremely high level. In the first half, our weak side was not aware like it's capable of, and they had 28 paints in the point. And a lot of it was because, Sarr was rolling and whoever was rolling, and they were rolling in a wide open paint. And they were either catching it for lobs and dunking it, or shot was going up and they were rebounding and dunking it. And I thought in the second half, our low man was extremely active. It was led by Josh. Josh had a heck of a game defensively. He guarded all types of guys, from C.J. McCollum to Sarr at times. And he was our defensive player of the game. He more than deserved it because of his activity, his awareness throughout the course of the entire ball game. And then he had 10 defensive rebounds. I thought Cat was huge. We had a stretch where we couldn't score, and that's what all-stars do. They carry the load for you offensively, and he did a great job with that tonight. And as you guys can see, trying to move him around won't allow teams to tee off on him. And the learning curve is still big for him, for me, and for us in terms of trying to move him around and put him in different spots. But every game, every practice, every shoot around, he's getting a little bit more comfortable with it, as you can see. I thought our defensive transition was pretty good. That team wants to play fast. They had 8 fast break points. And then the last thing I'd say is we had 44 field goals, and 32 of those 44 were assisted. And so our guys did a great job of trying to share the basketball and play for one another tonight.
You mentioned the aggressiveness defensively, but
Yeah.
it looked like in the first half, Cat offensively very aggressive, looking for a shot and also taking it to the rim.
No, Cat was a monster. He was a monster on the glass. He was really good defensively. He was a monster inside, outside. He's starting to feel and find his rhythm in what we're trying to do. And but I'm telling you, there's still a lot of room there to grow, not just for him, but for us to learn him, starting with me, and us to continue learning the different points or parts of what we're trying to do offensively. He's a monster. No, you did.
After that Milwaukee game, he held himself accountable, said he needs to be better for everybody, put the team in a position to win. Did you guys talk after that game? Because it seems like you've been different, particularly the last 2 nights. Did you guys get on the same page and discuss anything?
No, I've said this before. This is a process, and we've had a lot of guys that have been out and hadn't practiced. And, again, start with me. I said this last game, I got to put the guys I got to help try to put these guys in a better position, whether it's on the floor or whatever, or rotation-wise. But I didn't quite have as good a feel because guys have been out, and we're trying to play this guy and that guy. And so it starts with me, and I've gotten better, and they've just gotten more comfortable. Cat's just gotten more comfortable as time has gone on. I talk to all my guys, not just Cat in particular. I try to communicate with them as much as I can about every little thing that's out there, and my door is always open. And so that if they have questions or thoughts or comments, they come talk to me. So it wasn't just me specifically talking to Cat. Did I talk to Cat? Yeah, but I also talked to OG, talked to Josh, I talked to Tyler. I'm in constant communication with all of them, but it's a process, and it's not always going to be this. We're going to do this every once in a while. Hopefully we don't do this for long, and we get back on track. But Cat's trying to find his way, and he's done a great job with it.
It seems like Jordan Clarkson's really gotten comfortable. It's the last 2 nights, especially. What have you seen from him?
No, again, I know I sound like a long-winded, broken record, but it's as the season goes along, everybody's going to get more comfortable. They're going to be able to find their spots. Not only that, these last 2 nights were probably the last 2 nights were the best that I've done for them in terms of rotations. You know, they kind of sort of knew when they were coming out and going in. They kind of sort of knew who they were going to play together. And so it's just, like I said, it's a process of trying to get more familiar with what we're doing on both ends of the floor. Also with the rotation patterns that we're using.
OG has always been statistically a good three-point shooter.
What's that?
OG has always statistically been a good three-point shooter, but this year just feels different. Not just the amount he's getting up, but he's shooting quickly as soon as he gets it. Just the confidence you see from him in terms of letting the ball fly and knowing he was going to be in an offense where that was going to be the focal point. How much have you liked kind of what you've seen from him and his decisiveness shooting the ball?
I love it. You know, if any of our guys are open from 3, we want to let it fly. And, you know, I don't know what it was tonight, but I hope I say this right. We track, you know, the NBA tracks, you know, open threes, but they use cameras, and it's not always accurate. So I have one of my coaches go back after every game, and one of his job is to track our threes. And our last game against Chicago, we had 27 wide open catch and shoot threes, which is phenomenal. We had 10, and so we have green, yellow, and red. And green means wide open catch and shoot. We had 10 yellow, which could just mean off the dribble or slightly contested, and which is phenomenal again because we have guys that can knock down an off the dribble 3. And then we had 5 in red, which are heavy contested threes, but 4 of those 5 threes were with 4 seconds or less on the shot clock, so they had to be taken. To know you had 27 wide open catch and shoot, 10 yellows, and 5 reds is phenomenal. So all of our guys are making quick decisions. That's one of our staples offensively. We want to make quick decisions before the defense has a chance to get settled in, and that's shooting the ball, passing the ball, or snap driving to put more pressure on them.
Well, you, of course, played for Mike Brown. You know all about his communication style.
Yeah, an example of it was first couple games of the year, I was struggling, teams were struggling, trying to figure out rotations. Called me into his office. Told me, Wally, all I need you to do is rebound. I was like, rebound? I haven't rebounded my whole career. He's like, yeah, if you rebound, it's going to help us. You can play the stretch 4, and it's going to really do a lot for getting you out there on the floor. Started to focus on rebounding. Sky was the limit, so that's what he's doing right now early in the season. He's trying to build those seeds as far as relationships go with every player on this team. He's a new coach, and once he does that, that's when you can really find your stride, find your rhythm, and start really producing, and we're seeing it start to work for these Knicks.
Interesting he wanted you to rebound above all else.
Yeah, because then I could play the stretch 4 alongside LeBron, and he would help rebound too, and the center. So it got me out on the floor more, and that's, you know, a very interesting back and forth that you can have with your coach, which he loves.
Got him back out on the floor, so he can shoot.
That's right.
Speaking of shoot more, Cat on it tonight, 33-13 to lead the Knicks over Washington. All right, Wally, so Minnesota in town Wednesday. Tonight we showed in the 150 they beat the Nets. They're 4-3. Anthony Edwards is out with a bad hammy. Tonight, Randall had 19. Dante DiVincenzo was starting. He went for 25 tonight against the Nets.
That's a talented basketball team. They really are. Knicks are going to have to be ready. Very good offensive team. Coach Finch runs an unbelievable offense. That's going to be a marquee game. For me, I think on paper that's the toughest game of this 7-game homestand for the Knicks. Let's see if they continue this hot play and get this win against the Timberwolves.
All right, so we'll see you Wednesday night. We got the pregame at 7, game at 7:30. It's game 3 for the Knicks on this 7-game homestand. They have not lost at home this year. A perfect 4-0 after beating the Wizards tonight, 119-102. Stay with us.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
All right, so we have Minnesota in town Wednesday. And then what's interesting, the Knicks are off until Sunday, still at home Nets, and then 3 more games at home next week, wrapping up a 7-game homestand with a game against Miami on the 14th. We're going to hear from Cat. He was a player of the game, 33 points, 13 assists. Knicks beat the Timberwolves. We'll hear from Karl Anthony Towns right after this. Knicks beat the Wizards by 17. Cat 33-13. Here he is after the game with Alan Hahn.
Every night, one guy has the matchup. It felt like tonight, this was your matchup. You were aggressive right from the start. What were you thinking? What was your mindset going into this game?
Same one as been after every game. Just win the game, and got a chances tonight to get some good shots up. So I just wanted to capitalize on them.
Was there something that you saw, though, in that matchup? Because while they were spending a lot of time focusing on Brunson, you had a one-on-one almost every time.
I just saw opportunities to get some shots up and be aggressive, and I just wanted to, take advantage of the opportunity. JB requires a lot of attention, obviously, so just take what the defense gives us, and I thought tonight I saw that I had an opportunity to do something.
Second half, you guys came into the second half up 3, end up 26 at some point in the third quarter. Just what did you see that allowed you guys to break that game open?
I think, Yabusele was awesome. He came in the game and, in fact, impacted the game, and they got steals and played faster, and they did a good job of getting steals and translating them to points. So, obviously shout out to OG and Mikhail. Josh Hart was amazing tonight. JB. Landry Shamet off the charts game tonight, but Yabu did an amazing job. A lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet. He impacted the game of winning, and he got us a big lead when I came out the game with the finger thing, and then I was able to come back in and we was able to close the show.
You said before the season started, you were like a work in progress, that you were still figuring some things out. Have you figured some things out the last couple of games? We're all figuring it out. So, getting better every day, and understanding what our roles are and what we got to do. So, it's good. We got 2 wins in a row, but we're obviously still a work in progress.
Next up, Cat's former team, the Minnesota Timberwolves, are in town Wednesday night. Pregame at 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free, or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.